truth of the word and reaching the youth. Saving souls of the old, doing God's work with more to do. And he turning up every week and get lit. Making it church on Sunday, you can tune in and get your fix. Turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up.
Listen, don't get used to the level that you're on. Yeah, don't get used to the level that you're on, because the level that you are used to is not as extraordinary as the level that's on the way. I want you to know that your next is better than your present. Our God is a God of levels. And when God blesses you to go to another level, it is not simply for you to get there and wave at everyone and to impress everyone at what you have achieved. When God blesses you to get to another level, he's not blessing you to get there so that you can look down at those that are below you. But God, hear me, is taking us to another level to put us into a position of influence so that we can have a greater impact on those that he has assigned to us. I have a question for you this morning before we go any further in the text. If God lifts you up, will you lift him up with you? If God lifts you up to another level, can he depend on you to draw the lost to him? I need you to hear me this morning, family. Levels are about destiny and they are about purpose. Levels are about destiny and they are about purpose. There are some levels that you will not achieve until you have gone through some things. There is a difference between knowledge and skill. The difference between knowledge and skill is practice. But the difference between, hear me, skill and mastery is time. So there are some things, there's some levels, hear me family, that you will not achieve until you've been on certain levels for a period of time. Now, God is the one. God is the only one that can redeem the time. God is the only one, hear me, that can shorten the time, and he will only do it when you've gotten to a level of faith and a level of maturity. There's a different mindset that you must have before you get to next. You do not get to next and then develop the mindset. No, you have to have the mindset, hear me family, before you get to next. I am the 12th of 13 children. My father died when I was very young. I know what it feels like to be broke. I know what it feels like to need. Yeah, I know what it feels like to have to rob Peter to pay Paul. I must admit this morning that I know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. Yeah, I know what it feels like to be broke. Watch this, but I never thought I was supposed to be. What you accept in your life speaks specifically to how you see yourself. Did you hear what I said? What you accept in your life speaks specifically to how it is that you see yourself. I need you to hear me. Imagination determines pursuit. Your imagination determines pursuit. You will never pursue what it is you cannot imagine. Let me prove it to you. There was a woman in the Bible that had an issue of blood for 12 long years. She went to all of the doctors, but none of the doctors could help her. And although she lived in a culture that was not particularly kind to women, she said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. I wish I had some Bible readers today. Mine, and I've come to talk to somebody this morning. Come here, let me talk to you. Your problem is not your disease, it's your diagnosis. Yeah, no. Your problem is not what you're going through. Your problem is what everybody else is telling you. People telling you you're not good enough and you're not smart enough and you'll never be anybody. But I've come this morning to tell you that God is breaking those chains because it's time for you to go to another level. Somebody shout, I'm going to another level. And let me give you a warning this morning that anybody that's going to be close to me in this season, I'm going to be pushing you in this season. Why? Because your next is waiting on you. Did you hear what I just said? I got to push you because your next is waiting on you. And I've come to encourage somebody this morning, somebody that has big dreams, but you're in a small place. Yeah, don't despise small beginnings. God is getting ready to expose you to big. Did you hear what I just said? God is getting ready to expose you to big. Somebody shout, big is coming my way. What has stopped you from seeking next? What is it that has caused you to believe that you don't deserve next? A pastor friend of mine, I'm not going to call his name, but a pastor friend of mine said he's an African-American pastor. He was in New York City, and he caught a taxi cab in New York City that was being driven by another brother from Nigeria. And he and the brother from Nigeria, they had a great conversation. And after the conversation, the pastor friend of mine said to the brother from Nigeria, he said, man, I'm glad we had an opportunity to talk. He says, normally I don't have good relationships with my brothers from Nigeria. And so the cab driver said, why? Why you don't have good relationships with my people from Nigeria? He said, well, so sometimes I personally feel that they can be a little bit overly confident. And the brother from Nigeria said, oh no, my people are not overly confident. My people just walk away and think in a way that you would had you never been a slave. I have a question for you this morning. What level would you be on if you've never been chained by fear? What level would you be on if you've never been chained by sin? What level would you be on if you've never been told you're not going to be anything? And I've come to tell you that God said it's time for you to break every chain. It's time for you now to go to the level that He's called for you to go to. I've come to tell you that now God is calling more out of you. He's pulling it out of you in this season.
Pastor Luke, speaking the truth of the word and reaching the youth, saving souls of the old, doing God's